folks, Sandra Sherman here. Greetings from Austria. This is an easy lesson on all the things you are chord melody style. Chord melody means we play the chords and a melody simultaneously. I'll show everything slowly and in detail. There is also a slow tempo version of the entire tune towards the end of the lesson. I have tabs for you to download from the description box below. All right, let's get started. All the Things You Are is in the key of A flat major, and we have an unusual song form. We have an A part of 16 bars, a B section of only 8 bars, and a C section of 12 bars. I use hybrid picking, which means I hold my pick between my thumb and my finger, and then I use my middle, ring, and pinky as well on the upper strings, on the high strings. But you can play with your fingers only too if you want to. So here's phrase number 1 for you. I play it at regular tempo first and then break it all down for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we start with an F minor 7. That's a regular jazz chord on the 8th fret of the A string through the B string. We have the 10th of the D and the 9th of the B string. So we have 8, 10, 8, 9. We don't play the outer 2 strings, just the inner 4. Then I play my bass string on count number 2, and this is a filler thing now. 1, 2, and play the A string again, and then the D string. Play the A and the D string after it really quietly, because they are not the melody notes, they are filler tones. 1, 2, and 3. And now I play that B string again, and this B string is a melody note, so I play it louder. All right, then I change over to B flat minor 7 chord, and all I gotta do is put my ring finger below the middle finger on the 9th fret, and the pinky goes on the 10th of the G. Also the index goes down. So what I have now is the 8 of D, the 10th of G, and 8 and 8 of B and E strings. 8, 10, 9, 9. That's B flat minor 7 chord. I play it once, count to 2 in, and then I have my filling bass again, the D string in this case. Then the G string, they are played quietly, and then I have the melody on the B string, which is played louder. All right, first 2 bars. And I change over to E flat 7. This is the 6th fret bar chord, 6A, 8D, 6G, and 8B. I don't play the outer E strings again, just the inner 4 strings. That's an E flat 7. Then I have my melody on the B string, once, twice, and a third time. And then I go over to the A flat major, which is just right below it. I start with my index on the 6th fret. My ring finger bars over the 8th fret of the upper 3 strings. So 6, D, 8, 8, 8. And I just play the lower 3 strings first. I play 6, 8, 8 up to the B string. And now I hit that E string. And then I hit the lower 3 strings again, the D, G, and B strings. All right, so from E flat, the previous bar. Then I go over to a D flat major 7 chord. That's 4th of the A, 6th of the D, 5th of the G, and 6th of the B. Again, no outer E strings, just the inner 4. I play the full chord once and then the B string. Once, twice, thrice. Okay? Then I glide over to the D minor 7, which is on the 5th of A, the 7th of D, the 5th of G by barring, and the 6th of B. Yeah, the 6th of B. That's a D minor 7, and I play that once. And then I said G7, and all I gotta do is I have my ring finger on the 7th of G now, and the pinky goes on the 7th of E. So I have 7 of D, sorry, 5th of D, 7 of G, 6 of B, and 7 of E. That's a G7. Okay, from here to here. Leave your middle finger where it is. Then I hit that B string. And the final chord in our phrase is a C major 7. That's the same as the D flat major 7 we had just in the last bar, yeah. So this is on the 3rd of A, the 5th of D, the 4th of G, and the 5th of B. Inner 4 strings again. And now I only have filler chords. There's no melody going on anymore. This is the last melody note in that phrase. So what I do is I play it once, and now I make a rhythm pattern. I play that bass again on 2 and I think 1, 2, yeah, 1, 2 and then I play the upper 3 notes, the D, G, and B string. I play those twice, 1, 2, and 3 and then I make a rest, and then I play that C major full again, fully, all the 4 strings. Slide down, or I glide down to the B. That's 1 to the left. So I have 2, 4, 3, 4, B major 7, and up again to the C major 7. Those last 2 bars. All right, and now I play that entire phrase number 1 in slow tempo for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here is phrase number 2 for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, what have we got here? The same thing as in the first 8 bars, but moved down to the C minor. We were on the F minor, now we play the same thing on a C minor. We start on the 3rd of the A, 5th D, 3rd by barring, and 4th of the B in a 4 strings. 1, 2, and then we have that bass again, the A string, then the D string, both played quietly. And then the B string has the melody is a little louder again. Then I move my fingers, my ring finger below the middle finger, and the pinky is on the 5th. I have the 3 now of D, the 5th of G, and 4 and 4 of B and E. All right, that's an F minor 7. I played once, count to 2 and, then I play that bass, the D string again, then the G string really quietly, and the B string has the melody, that's that 4th fret, which is stressed, so it's a little louder. Just the same thing like before, but here. And the same thing as before, but now on the 1st fret, B flat 7 this is. 1st bar, 3 of D, 1st barred, and the 3rd of B in a 4 strings. And then I play the B string. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, all right? Then I have my E flat major 7. That's the 1st of D, the 3rd of G and B, I play this, and then I play the high E string on the 3rd also. And I go back to those 3 on the D, G, and B string. It's the same as the A flat before, but now on the 1st fret it's an E flat major 7. And now we have something different. Now it's not the same thing as before. We go over to the A flat major. And this is the 4th of the E string, the 5th of the D, and the 5th of the G string. We play those 3 notes at once, and then we play that G string 3 more times. Okay? Then I exchange actually my index for my middle finger on the 5th. So now I have the 5th of E, the 5th and 5th of D and G remain the same. I'm changing over to an A half diminished here. Then, actually, right now it's only an A minor 7, but the intention is an A half diminished. All right. Then I stretch. This might be a little hard in the beginning. You have to stretch your index to go to that 3rd fret of the B string. And move it to the 4th, and you get your full A half diminished chord. You play that B string on the 3rd and a B string on the 4th, while the rest is still ringing. Okay, from A flat. And now I change over to D7. My pinky can remain where it is. The D7 is on the 5th of A, the 4th of D, the 5th of G, and the 3rd of B. I play that once, and then I play that G string again, because it's a melody note. And that resolves to G major 7. That's the 3rd of E, the 4th and 4th of D and G. Okay, everything till here. We started with the C minor, F minor 7, B flat 7, E flat major, A flat major, A half diminished, D7, G major. Now I fill up this G major with a bass, again the E string, and twice of the D and G string. Okay? And another time on the 4 end. So what I have is this rhythm. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. One more time. Then I take my middle finger, which is still free, and I use it to play the third of the B string. That's a melody note. Alone while the rest keeps ringing. And now I change over to a G6-9 chord. Here's my virtual rule, the root, third of the E fret. We don't play it though. We have the second of D and G, this is barred, and the third of B and G, this is also barred, or you can use these two fingers to your liking. It's the same thing. And then you play that once, all 4 strings, and then you move them up to the 7th fret. 7, 7, 8, 8, that's exactly the same voicing. Now your imaginary root, the G, is on the A string. That's a G6-9 voicing. Also, this is a G6-9 voicing, but here's the root on the E and here's the root on the A. See, they sound almost alike, but one is just higher than the other. And that was it, actually, for that G thing. And I'm gonna play the entire phrase number 2 for you now in slow tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here's phrase number 3, which are the first 3 bars of the B section already. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here's how I played it. I have an A minor 11 with the open A string. Open A string, 7th on the D, 9th on the G, 8th of the B, and the 10th of the E string. And I strum through those 5 strings. So I use my pick, or you can use your thumb too, but play through the strings one after another really quickly and soft. Don't hit them. We don't play funk here, it's gentle. Like a harp. Shoo-doom. All right. Then we go over to an A minor 7. This is the 7 and the 9, they remain here. And then I have the 8 of the B and the 8 of the E string. So 7, 9, 8, 8, plus the low A string, open A string. And then I hit that high E string one more time, alone, while the rest is still ringing. Okay, then I actually leave my ring finger where it is and I play a D7. This is the 7th of the D, the 7th of the G by barring, and the 7th of the B, and the 8th of the E. Okay, you can hybrid pick this again or strum it one more time. And then I have the melody, and I harmonize it in diads. I use thirds for that. I have my 8th on the G and my 10th of the D string. That's a nice third interval. Then I exchange the index for the middle finger on the 9th fret. Now I have a major third. This is the 10th of the D still and the 9th of the G now. I'll leave these ringing, I keep them ringing, and add my index on the 8th of the E string. Okay. And then I go over to G major 7 chord. We had that a couple times now, but not on G, I think. Yeah. So this is the 5th of G of D string, the 7, 7, 7 of G, B, and E strings. All right, then I play that bass again. Now I have to fill up that chord. And that's how I do it. I play that bass again on count 2 and 1, 2, and then the upper 3 strings twice. Then I'll make a rest and then play all 4 of them together on the 4 end. So this is how the G major 7 sounds. All right, and here's the entire phrase number 3 for you in slow tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are at the last bars of the B section, and this is phrase number 4. Here it is in regular tempo. 3, 4, 1. Cool break at the end, right? All right, here's how I play this. We come from that G major from the previous bar, from the previous phrase, and then I put my index to the 7th of the G string, then the middle on the 8th of the B, and the high E string on the 7th. There's a little pickup line. Da, 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 da. And now I go over to an F sharp half diminished 11th chord. That's the 9th of the A, the 10th of the D, the 9th by barring, and the 12th of the B. 9, 10, 9, 12, inner 4 strings. Then I'll leave everything ringing, but lift up my pinky and put my ring finger to the 10th of the B string, all right? And play that alone while the rest still keeps ringing. Now we're on a real F sharp half diminished. And then I hit all these strings one more time. Right? Now I go over to a kind of a cowboy chord. But that's the best way to fret it here. We have a B7 chord, simple B7. We bar over the 7th fret, E string, 9th of the A string, the 7th is still barred, the 8th of the G string, and the 10th of the B string. And this is our top note, this is the melody, so don't play over to the high E string. You strum through the strings up until the B string, because this is where the melody is. Then I'll lift everything up except for that pinky. I'll leave it ringing actually. Oh, heard? I played that E string now. Not good. 8 of the D string alone, while this is still ringing maybe. Then the 9th of the D string, and that 10th again. Of the B string. Then I glide it over to the 9th of the B string and have an E major 7 chord. Regular jazz chord, 7 of A, 9 of D, 8 of G and 9 of B. And I fill it up with my bass, 1, 2, and. The bass is usually on the 2 and when I fill something up. And then the upper 3 strings, D, G, and B, twice. Okay, everything up until here from that G thing. And now it's for that cool Sandra break. I leave my pinky where it is. I fret a C7 sharp 5 or C7 flat 13, which is almost the same. I'm on the 8th of the E string, the 8th of the D string, the 9th and 9th of the G and B string. The 9th was here before. That's a C altered chord, C7 sharp 5. And what I do is I break up that chord. I play the bass first, and then I play the D, G, and B strings after it. And I play that in 16th notes. And I rest here. That rest is very important. If you keep it ringing, if you don't make that rest, it doesn't sound as cool. So also release the pressure of your left fingers. And then I play all those 4 strings one more time simultaneously. Bass high, all strings, da-da-da. Then sometimes I make a little kind of scratch thing on the low E string before I start the whole thing again. Bass, high notes, all notes. Okay, I played that a couple times now for you. Try to play along. 3, 4. All right. Here is the entire phrase number 4 in slow tempo. 3, 4, 1. Welcome to the C section. Here is phrase number 5 for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we have the same thing as in the A section. We start with an F minor 7, same thing, 8, 8, 10, 8, 9, middle 4, inner 4 strings. 1, 2, and is the bass again. And on count number 3, we have the D string. Then a melody on the B string. Then a B flat minor 7. That was 8, 10, 9, 9. Bass, middle string, melody on the B string, and at E flat 7, 6, 8, 6, 8, same thing as in the A section. And at A flat major 7, 6 D, 8, 8, 8, we play up to the B string, then the E string, then the rest again. D flat major is the same as in the A section, 4 of A, 6 of D, 5 of G, and 6 of B. But now it changes. Now we don't have that melody, but we have a filler. So we have one. We play the entire chord once, count to 2 and play that bass again, and then the D, G, and B string twice as a filler. We know that filler thing already. Okay, the first 5 bars. 3, 4. And now it's the G flat 13. Our virtual root is on the G flat 9th of the A string, but we don't play it. We start on its 3rd, which is the 8th fret of the D, and we bar over from on the 9th of G, B, and E strings. Sorry, only G and B, because we need our 13, which is on the 11th of the E string. So we have 8, 9, 9, 11. Okay, here would be the root. We don't play that. 3, 4, and 1, 2. That's a syncopation. When we start on a and it goes over, it's held till the next beat. 3, 4, and 1, 2, and we lift our pinky up and press against that 9th string, 9th fret of the E string, and we have a G flat 9, G flat 13, G flat 9, 3, 4, 2, and 3, 4. All right. Okay, that entire phrase number 5 in slow tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. You made it to that last phrase. Congratulations. Here is phrase number 6 for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we start with a C minor 7 on the 8th fret. That's the 8 of E, the 8 and 8th of D and G strings. We don't play that B string because the melody note is on that G string. And that's what we play, the G string alone, for several more times. 1 more time, then the whole thing again, and 2 more times. So 3, 4. One more time. 3, 4. Oh, sorry. 3, 4. Then we go over to that 7th fret and we play a B diminished with the flat 13 on top. That's 7 E, 6 of the D string, and you bar this, then the 7th of the G string, and the 8th of that B string. So right now you don't need to bar it. 7, 6, 7, 8. You play that twice with the rest in between. 1, 2 is the rest. Put your right hand here so there's to keep the strings from ringing. And then you lift your pinky up, and now we have a bar chord here, semi-bar chord, because that 6th fret of the B string should come through. 7, 6, 7, 6. Okay, from here to here. All right, then glide over on the 6th fret. We are on the E string, D and G strings. G string, no B string here. Play that once, then the G string alone, then the B string, and the 9th of the B string. Okay. last chords, we have an E flat 13. This is really high, and I know that some of you guys don't have access to these high frets. I show you the full chord then, but what you can do whenever you don't reach up here because your body starts here already, what you can do is play the top note, the highest note of that chord alone. This is usually more accessible than a full chord. Okay, so if you can reach it, just play the highest note. Our chord is E flat 13, that's 11 of D, 12 of G, and 13 and 13 of the B and E strings. So if you can't reach that, just grab that 13 note on the E string and play that alone. You can kind of reach it with your pinky or something, you know. One single note is always easy to fret, better than a full chord if you can't reach it. All right, play that once, and then we go to that bass strings of that E flat 7 chord. That's the 11th on the E flat, that's our root. Then the 11th of the D string and the 12th of the G string. Okay, from here. Again, if you can't play that highest note. That's the highest note. So for those who can't reach, play only the melody. And our final chord is an A flat 6. We have an A flat here on that 11th of the A string, then 10 and 10 of D and G, and 9th of the B string. 11, 10, 10, 9, A flat 6. That's an ending chord. I kind of strum through it or play with my fingers and pick rather quickly through the strings. And now the cool trick, it's a little hard though to play. You don't need to do that because that's the ending already. But sometimes I like to do those flageolets in the back, in the end. Okay, here's how I do that. You hold your pick and you hit it somewhere here around your pickup, and simultaneously you use your middle finger to play 12 frets above the tone you're fretting. This is the 11th fret of the A string. 11 plus 12 is 23. I do not have 23 frets on my fretboard, and usually no jazz guitar has 23 frets. So, but here's my 21st. No, here's the 22nd, and a 23rd would be here. So I play somewhere where I imagine it would be, touch my finger there, and behind it I put my pick. I hope you can see this. Let's do this a little closer. Okay. And I play that note with the pick. Oops, that wasn't good. I have a bad angle now because I'm showing you this, okay? And I put my finger away immediately so I don't prevent it from ringing. Then I do that same on the D string where I have the 10th and 12th is 22. This is my last fret. I'm exactly on the fret, but I do not touch the fret. I touch the string slightly. I do not press it down. And then I hit it hard, kind of hit it hard. And I go away immediately. And that next is also on the 22nd. And then I'm on the 21st. Because this is the 9th and 12 is 21. Okay. Takes a little practice, okay? This is phrase 6 in slow-mo. I hope you liked my lesson on All the Things You Are. If you do so, please smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I have plenty of more chord melody stuff on here. See you next time. Ciao, ciao.